Hello everyone, it is MisterStubstep, and today I'll be doing a value discussion on the X and Y set, Generations. Now this was a special set when it first came out, and it has its regular set as well as a Radiant collection that also is part of the set. Each pack came up with some Radiant collection cards. In this video, I'm only going to be going over just the regular set cards, no Radiant collection, and I'm just breaking it up into two parts because all the sites that I use and everything, they break it up into two parts, and it also gives me a little break. You know, my school's starting to pick up and everything again, so it's nice to cut down a little bit on the amount of cards that I have to, you know, do a little bit of research on. So like always, down below I'll have links to this spreadsheet if you guys want to like copy and paste and work off of one that you can just keep moving, keep updating as time goes on. I'll also have links to all the value discussions on all the other sets that I've done, which include all the Sun and Moon sets, Sword and Shield up to Darkness Ablaze, as well as all the X and Y sets up to Generations. And then I'll also have timestamps down below if you just want to skip straight to the graded card discussion or the summary at the end, because I usually go over the spreadsheet before I get into the cards themselves. All right, so let's start over. So some admin information. This document is as of April 10th, and base card total is only 83, so you know it's pretty common of a special set to have like 70 to 80 cards, so I'm not surprised. It's actually came out, oh my gosh, I put 21 February 2021. It's actually meant to say 2016. Wow, that's a little embarrassing. Change that really quick. All right, much better. All right, so 83 cards, no secret rares, surprisingly. So not a lot of diversity and rarities, but because you have the Radiant collection, like it's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. I wish I was collecting during this time. I've opened up some Generation stuff, but yeah. There's some color coordination right there, just based on pricing. Starting from the far left column, we have the card. If it's in red, it's going to be a card that I'm talking about, and if it's italicized, it's a card that I have. I only have one card that's worth a darn within the set, and it's not even that special because I got it from my cousin's collection that my aunt sent me. Rarity is self-explanatory. The raw on TCG Player is the market price value on TCG Player rounded down to the nearest dollar. Grade is, I try to find a PSA 10 sold listing on eBay or as close to that as possible if I can't find a PSA 10. And I use PSA because it is still the most common and frequently bought and sold, like with Pokemon cards for grading. And then the sold price is the last sold price on eBay rounded up to the nearest dollar, not including shipping. Date of sale is when that auction ended or when that listing ended. And then the PSA 10 population, the number on the left is the number of 10s, and the number on the right is the total currently registered with PSA. Obviously, there's a lot of cards at PSA right now, so I don't know if this set in particular, but I know like a lot of sets will see huge bumps up in their cards once they catch up, since they're currently closed right now. So yeah, now we can get right into the set. So starting out with a mysterious Meowstic EX, a 10 sold for $400 at the end of February. There's only 13 PSA 10s, which normally you'd be like, whoa, like it's super rare, but if you look at all the other XY sets, all the random ultra rares, their population's about the same. And the reason why I'm highlighting this is because $400, it makes no sense to me, and I wouldn't be surprised if this wasn't paid for, but there's no other listings on it. It sold for $400. Maybe there was somebody that is the Meowstic collector and this was their only opportunity. I don't know, but I think was only one bid and it was $400. Like, I don't know. Maybe someone else wants to do some extra research, but I figured I'd report it because it was, you know, a confirmed sale. Whether or not they paid for it, who knows? But yeah, I didn't include this in any of my averages or anything because it's a huge, it's just a huge extreme. All right, Blastoise EX. So I don't know if this will be a hot take. I'm sure most people would agree. I don't know, but the Generation 1 starters within this set, like within the regular set of Generations, they're not the best looking cards. I'm going to be honest. They look kind of derpy. Blastoise sold for 171 a PSA 10. It is a Blastoise. You know, it has like a 33% PSA 10 rate. I don't know. I just don't think these cards are anything special. And speaking of which, I have the Mega Venusaur EX. It sold for $158 in a PSA 10. I don't know. It just looks kind of off. That's all I'm going to say. It just looks off. We have the Jolteon EX. We do have some evolutions within the set, so that's kind of nice. And there's some really good looking cards in the Radiant collection, which I'll be going over next week, hopefully. Jolteon EX in a 10 sold for $100. Not bad. I know there's evolution collectors out there and they want all the evolutions and their ultra rares and PSA 10s and everything. We have the Vaporeon EX, a little bit better in price, $168 in a 10. Not bad. We have the Leafeon EX. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but Leafeon is probably one of my favorite because it is the grass type. I mean, I think Umbreon would be my all-time favorite. But I think Leafeon is the least popular evolution. It's least popular than Glaceon, Sylveon, and all the originals. It's just not very popular. $131 in a 10. The Mega Blastoise EX, another derpy-looking one in my opinion. $150 in a PSA 10. Not bad. Then these two cards. I knew that these existed, but I forgot about them until I did research again on this set. The Articuno Full Art, PSA 10, $150. I personally think these cards are a little underrated, but who knows, maybe they were really easy to pull or whatever. I mean, there's a decent amount graded, and there's a decent amount of 10s comparatively to other XY sets, but beautiful card. The Zapdos Full Art, same thing. A little bit harder to grade, $180 for PSA 10, so a little bit harder to grade. Prices maybe reflect, but also the Articuno was sold in January, whereas the Zapdos was sold a month later, and I think January was kind of like a low point for a lot of cards, and we're kind of on a slow increase again, but then we might be running into another drop, so who knows? The Pokemon market is just so violent. I love it. And then we have the Charizard EX. Personally, do not like this card at all. I think there's Flash Fire ones, there's Evolution ones, like well, a lot of those are the same print, but they just look better than this one. I just don't like this one. $275 in a PSA 10. It is a Charizard, so it's going to get some love. And then the Mega Charizard EX, I will admit, this one's kind of nice. I like this one a little bit. $713 in a PSA 10. By far the most graded card within this set. Over 1,000 graded, and a little over 300 in a 10. So about a third comeback 10s. So statistically speaking, if you had 3, mint copies or 3 near mint copies and you sent them in, one would come back at 10. But yeah, it's pretty simple to start just for, the main set for Generations. I'm excited to go over Radiant Collection. We can go to the bottom just to see some averages, but there's really nothing special because there's not a ton of different rarity cards within Generations. The EX averaged 185 and the Full Arts averaged 165, so just comparing it to some of the other sets. I took out Flash Fire because it's just been dominating too much. I might bring it back once we hit evolutions and all that stuff, but yeah. So nothing too special. Only 17 cards over $1, but it is a much smaller set. And then we have some interesting stuff over here. So a master set sold for $1,000 at the beginning of March, and it included all of Radiant Collection, all the promos, including those really cool promos, which eventually I will do an XY promo video. The Sun and Moon promo video took me forever, so I might push off the XY promo one for a while. But when I complete all the XY sets, eventually an XY promo will come out, and I personally think these are some of the best promos of all time. They have the Charizard, Blastoise, and Venusaur promos. They just look awesome. And then the Elite Trainer box, $780 on 10 April. I think this is one of the best looking Elite Trainer boxes. It's very clean, it's simple, and it just yells celebration to me, and that's why I really like it. Booster packs have skyrocketed. Like, everybody's been going after Generations because, you get that Radiant Collection in there, and there's some good Radiant Collection cards. And $43 per booster pack, it's pretty expensive compared to a lot of the other XY sets that we've gone over so far. So yeah, very, very simple, short and sweet, to the point set. Obviously, this set is more about the Radiant Collection. I mean, you have the Mega Charizard in here, but it's more about the Radiant Collection, I'm going to be honest. I feel like all these cards are just filler cards, even though some of the Radiant Collection cards are filler cards too. But just going over some tiers of collectability. In the low tier, I'm gonna slip that Articuno and Zapdos in there. I think they're underrated right now. They are kind of a niche card. The 3 birds, they always do fairly well. I mean, we've seen it in Hidden Fates, some older promos, the newer cards with the Galarian variants coming out. There might be a little spurt of love for these cards. In the mid-tier, also rounding out the low tier, I put Vaporeon and Jolteon, didn't include Leafeon. I just feel like there's more love out there for Vaporeon and Jolteon especially. Obviously, Umbreon, Espeon, and Espeon are the kings of the evolutions, but yeah. In the mid-tier, I have the regular Charizard EX, and then the top tier would be the Mega Charizard EX. So, pretty simple. This is basically a warm-up prior to Radiant Collection. I mean, Radiant Collection isn't huge or anything. I think it's like 30-something cards, but yeah. And then in that video, I should be able to kind of do an overall view of the set as a whole. So, all right, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. If this is your second video of mine, consider subscribing. If you like what you saw, leave a like. If you don't like what you saw, leave a dislike and give me some feedback down below on how I can improve this channel, especially like these types of videos. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have. Tomorrow, this would come out on a Wednesday. Yeah, so tomorrow I should have another opening for y'all, and I hope you guys have a good rest of your week.